In every room, there's an unspoken hierarchy. It's not about who is the loudest, but who has the most presence. Powerful people aren't just looking at who is in the room. They are unconsciously filtering out those who seem irrelevant. These individuals often carry a set of habits that signal a lack of confidence and a need for approval. To truly be seen, you must first stop doing the things that make you disappear. Here are 13 habits that silently disqualify you from opportunity. Respect. 1. Entering a room with your energy pointed inward. Why it makes you invisible. When you walk into a room, your body language is the first thing people notice. Powerful people enter a space with an expansive awareness. Their posture is open, their head is up, and their eyes scan the room deliberately. They claim the space. In contrast, someone with an inward-focused energy shrinks. They look at the floor, their shoulders are hunched, and their body language seems apologetic for their very presence. Right. This signals to others that you don't value your own space or presence, and they will unconsciously agree. If you don't believe you belong there, why should anyone else? What to avoid? Shuffling in with your head down, hiding in corners, avoiding eye contact with anyone, looking for an empty chair and rushing to it without acknowledging anyone. This behavior tells people you're not worth evaluating. How to change? Before you enter a room, take a moment. Stand up straight, pull your shoulders back, and take a deep breath. When you walk in, let your eyes scan the room slowly and deliberately. This is not about being arrogant. It's about being aware. Walk with a calm pace and a sense of purpose, as if you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Don't wait to be noticed. Move like you expect to be. The core idea, your physical presence, is your first statement. Make it a powerful one. 2. Speaking with an apologetic tone. Why it makes you invisible. It's not just about what you say, but how you say it. A powerful person's voice is calm, even, and deliberate. A person who lacks presence will often speak with a rising intonation at the end of their sentences, as if asking a question. They use filler words like like or, sorry, and often trail off softly. Even if their words are strong, their tone gives them away, signaling that they are seeking permission or validation. Powerful people will tune you out instantly because they can't trust what you're saying. If it sounds like you don't believe it yourself, what to avoid? Ending statements with an upward lilt. Starting sentences with, I think, I guess, or maybe. Softening your opinion to avoid disagreement. Using excessive apologies like, sorry, can I just say something? How to change. Train your voice to be flat, calm, and final. Speak in a low, slow rhythm. Use fewer words and give them more weight. Practice ending your sentences firmly, like a period, not a question mark. Let silence carry your confidence. After you speak. This shows that your words are intentional and don't need a second opinion to be valid. People will start to lean in and listen more closely. The core idea, your tone, is a weapon. Use it to project certainty, not to beg for approval. 3. Laughing too is a leave. Why it makes you invisible. Laughter is a powerful social signal. But when used improperly, it can backfire. It can signal that you are harmless, agreeable, and even subservient. When you laugh at things that aren't funny or nervously at subtle jokes that are a little rude, you are essentially telling the powerful person that you are willing to accept their behavior to stay in their good graces. They may be testing you to see if you will laugh to belong. The moment you do, they've marked you as someone who can be controlled, and you'll never be seen as an equal. What to avoid? Nervous giggling. Laughing at your own jokes to get approval. Smirking when someone says something subtly disrespectful. Laughing at a powerful person's joke, even when you don't find it funny. How to change. Don't laugh to belong. If something isn't genuinely funny, don't force a reaction. If a comment is disrespectful, don't smirk. Instead, go silent. The tension in the air. Stillness shows that you are not easily swayed or controlled. When people don't know how to read you, they don't know how to control you. The core idea, laughter is a tool. Don't make it a crutch. 4. Over-explaining. Simple things, why it makes you invisible. A powerful person values conciseness and clarity. When you're asked a simple question and you respond with a long-winded answer, full of disclaimers, backstories, and extra examples, it signals deep insecurity. It's as if you feel the need to justify your right to speak and to prove that your point is valid. Powerful people don't have the time or patience for someone who narrates their thoughts like a podcast no one asked for. They will quickly stop listening, thinking, if this person needs this many words, their idea isn't worth the effort. What to avoid? Answering a question and then adding, the reason I say that is because ... Or just to give you some context, talking more than is necessary to make your point. How to change? Let your words be few and final. Answer the question directly and then stop. Let the silence hang. If they want more information, they will ask for it. This shows that your time is valuable, and so are your words. When you speak less, what you do say gains weight and importance. The core idea: your words should be like a punch, quick and impactful. Not a long-winded story. 5. Waiting to be included. Why? It makes you invisible. This habit is the death of presence. When you sit at a table and wait for someone to speak to you, or linger on the edge of a conversation hoping for an invitation, you are broadcasting your own dependency. You're telling people, I'm not sure I belong here. Can someone else please decide for me? Powerful people never wait. They insert themselves into conversations with value. They understand that if you have something important to say, you don't need permission to say it. What to avoid? Physically positioning yourself on the periphery of a group, quietly hoping someone will turn to you. Starting your contribution with, if I can jump in for a second. How to change? Don't wait for your turn. Take it. When you have a valuable insight, find an opening and speak decisively. Make your contribution, then go silent. Let your words echo. The ones who hesitate are forgotten. The ones who speak once with weight are remembered. The core idea of value doesn't knock. It walks in 6. Apologizing for your standards. Why it makes you invisible. Everyone has standards, whether it's how they spend their time, what they tolerate, or what they believe. When someone questions your standards and you immediately soften, explain, or backtrack, you lose all gravity. You make your boundaries seem flexible and negotiable. Powerful people understand that standards are not about morality. They are about power. If you apologize for them, they seem arbitrary. If you stand by them silently, they become sacred. What? To avoid saying things like, I'm sorry, I just can't make it that late, or I know this sounds picky, but ... Explaining why you said no. How to change? Stand by your boundaries without flinching. Say no without a backstory. Decline without an explanation. Walk away without signaling any pain. When your standards are delivered without apology, they become law, and law commands respect, not permission. The core idea: your boundaries are not up for debate. 7. Overusing praise. Why it makes you invisible. You might think that giving compliments builds connections, but overuse them and they lose their value. Saying nice job or wow, that's amazing too frequently in an effort to show warmth or keep the conversation smooth signals a desire to belong, not the strength to lead. When you constantly flatter, powerful people see someone who is trying to be liked and who is likely seeking something from them. They see someone who needs them, which means they can be controlled. What to avoid? Giving generic, effusive praise constantly. Complimenting someone's work just to get on their good side. How to change? Withhold praise until it truly costs you something. Deliver it like a reward, not a reflex. Make it specific, rare, and slightly delayed. When you praise with discipline, it stops being noise and becomes a powerful signal. The core idea: praise should be a reward, not a habit. 8. Mirroring too much. Why it makes you invisible. Mirroring is a common social trick where you subtly match another person's tone, rhythm, or body language to build a connection. When done excessively, it becomes a problem. The more you reflect someone else, the more you blur your own identity. You start to look like a chameleon, and to the powerful, this unconscious mirroring screams desperation. It says, "I'll become whatever you need me to be, just don't exclude me." And that's when they stop respecting you, because they know you'd rather be accepted than be seen for who you are. What to avoid? Changing your vocabulary to match someone else's. Matching their volume or laugh to smooth things over. Adopting their posture or hand gestures to build rapport. How to change? Keep your natural tone, even if it clashes. Don't match volume or mirror body language, just to make things easy. There'd be a little tension. This shows that you are solid and confident in your own identity. Only people with nothing to prove stay solid in the presence of difference. The core idea, your identity is not a costume. 9. Always showing gratitude first. Why it makes you invisible. Gratitude is powerful, but timing is everything. Phrases like, "Thank you for your time," or "Thanks for having me," sound polite, but they can also be a silent confession. They imply, "This interaction benefits me more than it benefits you." That single power imbalance makes you smaller, even if you are talented and brilliant. What to avoid? Thanking someone for letting you be in a meeting before you've even spoken. Starting an email with "Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak with you." How to change? Delay gratitude. Establish your presence first. Speak with parity before you praise. Let the interaction reveal that the benefit was mutual before you express deference. Power respects what walked in with its head up, not what crawled to get in. The core idea, your presence is the value you bring. 10. Constantly seeking. Emotional safety, why it makes you invisible. You enter a room and immediately look for friendly faces. You read everyone's tone before you speak and adjust your opinion mid-sentence based on their reactions. You do this because you are addicted to emotional safety and want everything to stay smooth. But he who fears conflict will always serve the one who doesn't. Real power creates tension without blinking. They are not dependent on emotional smoothness. When you constantly try to keep things nice, you become a social janitor, cleaning up the emotional mess at the cost of your own presence. What to avoid? Softening your opinions to avoid disagreement. Holding back a strong idea because you think it might challenge the group. Backtracking on your honesty. How to change? Let people feel a little uncomfortable. Let your words land heavy. Let silence stretch. Because when you show no fear of emotional chaos, people instinctively begin to respect you. Not because they like you, but because they know they can't move you. The core idea, don't fear tension. Use it to your advantage. 11. Avoiding taking up physical space. Why it makes you invisible. Your body speaks before your words. When you sit with your legs crossed, your shoulders inward, and you minimize your gestures, you are communicating submission through your posture. This is not humility. It's your body saying, "I'm not a threat. Don't mind me." Powerful people see this as a sign of irrelevance. If your body doesn't claim the environment, your words will never matter. What to avoid? Sitting with your arms crossed or your hands in your lap. Leaning away from the center of a table, looking down when someone addresses you. How to change? Sit like you belong. Unfold your arms and legs. Keep your chin parallel to the floor and your shoulders squared. Let your hand gestures be natural and uninhibited. Let attention rest on you like it's natural. The body trains the mind, and when your posture commands presence, your energy will match. The core idea, claim your physical space to claim your power. Point 12. Over-identifying with good intentions. Why? It makes you invisible. This habit is brutal because most people are convinced their good intentions will carry them. They think, "I didn't mean to sound weak. I meant well." But power doesn't care what you meant. It only responds to what you signal. Assuming others should see your depth and kindness creates a blind spot. Powerful people don't decode your soul. They respond to your behavior. If you come off as needy or apologetic, they don't look for the reason. They just decide you're not sharp or present enough. What to avoid? Thinking that people will excuse your weak behavior because you have a good heart. Making excuses for your actions by saying, "I was just trying to be helpful." Stop thinking you'll be rewarded for what you meant. Start owning how you come across. Adjust your behavior to match your intentions. The ones who rise are not the kindest. They're the ones whose presence commands perception. The core idea, intentions, are silent. Signals are everything. 13. Treating influence like something to be earned. Why? It makes you invisible. Most people believe that influence must be earned. They think they have to prove themselves, wait their turn, serve long enough, and be liked. Enough. Only then, they believe, will they be taken seriously. But influence is never earned. It is assumed. Those who carry power walk into new rooms with the unshakable posture of someone who is already someone. They don't ask for attention, they don't wait for credit. They move like the room should adjust to them, not the other way around. What to? Avoid. Waiting for a promotion to act like a leader. Waiting for a powerful person to give you a chance before you take it. Believing that your work will speak for itself. How to change? Stop waiting for approval to act like you matter. Start moving like someone who knows the spotlight is inevitable. When you treat influence as something to be claimed, you become the kind of person others start watching before they even know why. You become visible, not because you fought for it, because your existence could no longer be ignored. The core idea, stop asking for influence, start taking it.